Hi everyone, it's Claire. So it's a new moon in Leo, and this is at 8:12 p.m. today, July 24th, in Universal Time, Great Britain, 3:12 New York, and 12:12 LA. So Leo is an amazing, vivacious, sunny, happy sign, and it brings pleasure and blessings, possibly creativity and artistry. And it's also linked, Leo rules the heart and rules the fifth house. So it's linked to romance, children, creativity, and the inner child. You might want to get on board more with hobbies, deep chats, passionate pleasure, entertaining chats, and things as well. And also, I've looked at Tanya Gabrielle, by the way, Pam Gregory, Molly McCord, and Maria Vasani, and they've all got different views on it, really. But you've also got Mercury retrograde around the 18th of July as well, for about 2.5, nearly 3 weeks. So that does slow us down a bit as well. And I think you've got Neptune and Saturn retrograde as well. And you've got Pluto purging to do with the truth, and it kind of rules watery Scorpio. So it would be good to stay grounded and take in nature as well. And the soul kind of finds the truth at the moment. And you've got really Pluto at 2 degrees of Aquarius, which, as Tanya Gabrielle pointed out, was a 222 code. And she thinks of it as two sides of a coin. And Aquarius is the water bearer into wisdom, humanitarian inventions, and research. And also at the moment, this Leo and Aries are both sovereign signs. So the new moon being in Leo is really good for our sovereignty as well. And also good to kind of share our feelings, and those feelings which are internal, just kind of really honour them as well. You've also got Uranus active, so that's links in with risks, inventiveness, and unusual people and circumstances. So just look out for that. You've also got, with Neptune, you've got dreams being very strong at the moment as well. Tanya looked at geodetic mapping, where kind of the lines linked in with the astrology, links in with the cartography and the mapping of the world. And Leo, new moon, Mercury retrograde, she saw it as being that affecting West USA, mid California, so Seattle, Portland, Northwest Canada, Vancouver, Idaho, and East Canada. And for Europe, new moon affecting near the North Sea, North Netherlands, and Germany. Saturn and Neptune linking in with France, Germany, and the heating up around the Mediterranean, and the mid-heaven lines linking in with Sun, Moon, Pluto, Mercury in Leo, China, Philippines, Indonesia, Australia, and kind of powerful times. In Tokyo, southern Japan, North and South Korea, Northwest Russia, and Tokyo being impacted as well. So that was her kind of take on it, as far as I can tell. Then you've got Pam Gregory. She talked about like going backward, looking at some of the difficulties and the weather, extreme weather we've had, like heat wave in Europe, Spain, Turkey, Portugal, floods in China, Texas. The river rose 26 feet in I think it was Texas, and 100 plus died, which was really tragic, and New Mexico as well. And in the second half of July, so she talked about 13th of July, around then, Saturn retrograde, 2 degrees of Aries. It's not back in Pisces till the 1st of September. And looking for new sovereign power for the self, linking in with that. And 14th of July to the 19th of July, but it's exact on the 17th of July, Mars semi-square Pluto, and that can be, or it could be, brutal. Kind of, she linked it actually a bit with the Palestine-Israel crisis, and linked to strong willpower. And Mars in Virgo, getting a daily detail of things right, and Pluto in Aquarius, linked to community. And then Mars conjunct South Node, looking at the past and what was expressed previously, and that she linked that to the 17th, which is in the past now. Sun square to Chiron as well, which links with healing. And on the 18th of July, Saturn close to Neptune, 2 degrees of Aries, affecting maybe the cardinal signs, but giving a glimpse of early 2026, birthing the new you and more about sovereignty. And then, like today, 24th of July, the new moon, 12 minutes past 8 p.m. in English time, she looked at, and she's got Uranus Sedna, the finger of God, pointing to Homer, opposing Eris and Chiron. And so Sun square to Eris, Chiron, around 17th of July, feeding into Aries. Aries is this feisty street fighter, sister of Aries, involves total inclusion, and she was very excluded, so she got very het up. Mount Olympus. And Chiron has a sense of exclusion as well. He's often known as the wounded healer. And he became apparently a herbalist, healer, and astronomer. And so, yeah, kind of linking in those things. And she thought to a degree as well that it can lead to the victim consciousness. So really, those are sort of elements to bear in mind. And Aries, Leo are very linked to the sovereignty, as we know. And she thinks this is very linked to a new beginning, this new moon, and highlighting the sense of social justice. And the 8 orbit bodies are in 0 to 2 degrees of signs, which kind of links, because that's 0 onwards is the beginning, big new beginnings. So endings might happen and new starts might happen as the old earth collapses. And Leo is very creative energy and a strong sense of self, like I shine, center stage, leadership, helping others, strong integrity, sign of the heart, lots of electrical heart energy she talked about. And in the diagram she showed of the new moon, the diagram shows Homer, the egg-shaped link on the diagram, linked to fertility. She showed it in 3 ways, and also New Earth and the 8 isles of Hawaii, eruptions brought up new land. So she thinks that she was talking about it symbolically, but it might be linked to lots of seismic activity. And Japan has had 1,700 earthquakes recently, I think, and a lot of volcanic activity. I think I caught a glimpse of Japan in my third eye at one point as well. I thought, aye, what's happening here? And then the third aspect is the partner of, I think it was Homer, she was talking about, took bananas, and the leader there was going to put her out to death, but Homer overcame that and brought together people in the community. I don't know, she lost me a bit there, but kind of very tight aspects, and the power of the individual versus the state is really key. Also Uranus 7-7, that's like linked in with electrical energy and birthing the new human. And really she talked about 2027, new human genetic mutation, like the new human is created. And also Uranus quintile Mercury means downloads and insights and psychic dreams and being in the moment and making decisions in the moment as well. And that power lies in the now. So kind of a feeling of trusting the now and synchronicity that comes in, and trust our intuition. And we are love, joy and compassion, feel part of that process of the, new planet being formed really, in a new timeline. And don't worry about the future really. it is very hectic if you look at the external and what's going on in the news and so on. Then we're on to Molly McCord, and she talked about fiery new start, creation, direction, and what's sparking within us. And the sun and moon, 2 degrees opposing the new moon in Aquarius. So, and universe creates a power struggle. So, and see the self above the ego self from a high advantage point, and pushing back and going into the higher version of the self via maybe however you can really, but it asks us to be brave and strong, and we're really all here to embody good stuff and more expansive cosmic self. She talked about Neptune, Saturn in Aries, connected to Uranus in Gemini via sextile. So opposition from Pluto to be more authentic. We have codes of remembrance and what are we here to learn, what is interesting, and new codes that are empowering us to be our authentic self. And a sense of accept who we are and deeper levels of our knowingness, really, which is aligned to the universe. Planets in Aries retrograde reflect Neptune till March 30th, Saturn till May 20th, 24th, in alignment with who we are and came to be, and a new reality being created. So Mercury retrograde, good to be contemplative, and that's July 18th to August the 11th, roughly. So Mercury conjunct to the Sun at 8 degrees. It might bring back a message, so that might happen. North Node, 20 degrees of Pisces. Mars in Virgo, 21 degrees of the South Node. Square Venus in Gemini, T-square. Decide what stays, she thinks, and decide what goes. And Mars in Virgo, Venus in Gemini, strong mental thoughts. And the mind may not answer, but the soul does know. So use our intuition and trust what we feel. And that because of Gemini as well, there could be a feeling of two paths. And are we going to take the higher path, really? So also the North Node in Pisces, North Node is about like the future, collective future, helps us win. And the new timeline being chosen, and some relief mentally, technical engineering, solving a new path, direction. So a lot going on with technical inventions and things. You can sort of see something daily coming through. And really part of us realises that previous stuff is not fitting new timeline. So Venus helps us talk it through, and Uranus helps with solutions, breaking us out of mental stagnation, and creative, being more creative and manifesting things. So, and she talked about 2 degrees of Leo, what house is in our chart. I think for me, Scorpio, it's about careers at the moment for Scorpio. So I'm just very quickly, taking ages, is Maria Vasami. She was very quick run through, but she talked about connecting with the mind, speaking subconscious, vivid, intense dreams in Leo, and slow down a little bit because of probably the retrogrades, but it's about being playful, fun, vibrancy, magnetic energy. And she talked about retrograde. What stops us from connecting with our gifts and being more authentic. And Mars is conjunct the South Node in Virgo. Don't take more actions based on the past. Look at new actions from authenticity. And awakenings, opposition with Pluto, might bring in a bit of sadness and heaviness with the negative emotions, but more to do with being on a path of joy, old patterns being left behind and being aware of them. Saturn retrograde in Aries till sometimes. So responsible Aries, looking at our own path and our own self direction, and hopefully this inner work can help us feel better. It feels a bit of a mishmash, actually, and a little bit complicated, I think, this new moon. So I hope you can, just go with how you feel inside, and hopefully the universe does the rest. Okay, happy new moon in Leo. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.